Interesting to break it down. I mean, the court is now on the other side of 80% of Americans who want gun safety, the kinds of things they struck down earlier in the year. 65 to 70% of all Americans who think choice was a better way to exist as a country. Marriage equality, 71% of all Americans think that should be the law of the land, clearly under assault. I mean, you go down the line, and the Supreme Court doesn't even represent the whole of the Republican Party. That is inaccurate. The Supreme Court is more extreme than the most extreme Republican Party that's existed in my lifetime. What is the conversation about? And they hate when that is said, so let me say it again. The United States Supreme Court today is more extreme than the most extreme version of the Republican Party that's existed in my lifetime. They will give speeches. They will complain about attacks on their legitimacy. Their legitimacy is under attack because they stand with about 20% of all Americans.
I think that's really important to point out. I mean, we are amidst changing demographics in this country, right? There has been a 40% decline in one generation in America in white Christians, for example. And I think that the ultra-conservative bloc of the Supreme Court is siding with these white Christian nationalists who are raging against the dying of their privilege. And I think that absolutely explains some of what is happening right now. So I think one of the important things to point out, voting 100%, so important, and so is recommitting as a nation to keeping church and state separate. And that's because we are fighting white Christian nationalism, the belief that America was made for white Christians and that our laws should codify privilege for white Christians. And the antidote to that, the cure, is to keep church and state separate. It's not anti-religion. It's pro-everyone's religious freedom. And ultimately, what it protects is all of our right to live as ourselves, free from anyone else's religious doctrine, and to believe as we choose. It protects freedom without favor and equality without exception. And it's one of those issues, church-state separation, that binds us all across all these ways that we're being attacked and marginalized. So it's another solution to put forward.